What up everybody, it's me Blake316, and in this episode of MythBusters, we're going to be attempting to break the myth of whether or not the Wii U actually has some games. Now for quite some time, it might have been true, but does that myth actually stay true to today's current date? Let's find out. You see, I'm pretty much the perfect person to try to bust this myth because I own a PlayStation 4, I own an Xbox One, and I own a Wii U. Therefore, I have no reason to be biased. I own all the consoles. And to keep this attempt of trying to bust this myth fair, we're only going to be counting games from September, fall 2013 until today's current date, which is 2014. All the consoles released in the fall, and I want to keep it fair and even. Now let's get started on trying to attempt to break this myth. Let's start off with the Xbox One. When the Xbox One released, it had a couple exclusives. Nothing crazy, nothing great, but it had a couple. Let's start off with Dead Rising 3. Xbox One also had a game released by the name of Rise. This is a game I wasn't interested in, and just because it's an Xbox One exclusive doesn't mean I'm going to run out and buy it. I'm only interested in games that I'm interested in. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to acknowledge the game. Also, it had a game like Titanfall. So, it had Dead Rising 3, Titanfall, and Rise. Just to name or almost all the exclusives the Xbox One had on its console. Now to move on to PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 had Knack, it also had Killzone, two games I did not purchase because like I said I wasn't interested in them, but I'm still going to acknowledge them. I wasn't interested in Knack because I wasn't interested in a generic platformer. I wasn't interested in Killzone because I wasn't interested in another generic first-person shooter. PlayStation 4 also had the release of Infamous Second Son. I'm not into sandbox games, but at the same time, not interested in it, but I'm still going to acknowledge it. So the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 basically have 3 exclusives each. Now, let's go on to the Wii U starting fall 2013. Legend of Zelda HD Wind Waker. Super Mario 3D World. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Mario Kart 8. So as you can see right there, 4 Wii U games compared to the 3 each of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 games that I already announced in this video. This is not including multi-plat games. Now, let's include multi-plat games. PlayStation 4, I do have Battlefield 4. Need for Speed Rivals for the PlayStation 4. I did happen to pick up FIFA 14. UFC kind of is an Xbox One and PlayStation 4 exclusive. And NBA 2K14. So now, as you can see, the Xbox One, with the multiplats included, kind of has more games than the Wii U. But you see, I didn't add the Wii U multiplats. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Here's another multiplat, DuckTales. And Lego Marvel Superheroes. Now when you include the exclusives with the multiplats, what console really has no games? And then if I want to add in the entire Wii U collection compared to the other game collections of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which console really has no games? Well, I think this myth-busting attempt was a success. Because clearly I busted the myth of the Wii U apparently having no games. When clearly in this breakdown, it does. And I remind you, this is as unbiased as it can get. Because I own all consoles. This is me, Blake316. In this episode of Myth-busting, does the Wii U really have no games? I think this myth was just busted, people. Until next time.